Well, good morning. Welcome to Unity of Appleton. If you're new to Unity, a special welcome and thanks for being here. I have been really excited about thinking about sharing for today because today is the 5th day of Christmas. And in numerology, 5 is a really significant number, and within Unity, 5 is a very significant number also. And I really, an additional thought as I was just coming here, some of the characteristics of the number 5, the numeral 5, are these. Freedom, that's the biggie. Curiosity, the desire for adventure and change, open to new ideas and experiences. And I know without knowing why or without knowing you that that description fits you to a T. You wouldn't be here if those were not qualities that are endemic to you. You have chosen to be here. Lots of people don't ever make that choice to really think about what their soul is calling, yearning for, and willing to make a change that might mean separation from family members, seeing the world very, very differently, standing up for things that are different and done in a different way than the ordinary. So pat yourself on the back, okay? Come on, pat yourself on the back for being here. Come on. Okay. All right. In Unity and in other religions as well, there's the story about the young shepherd boy, David, who, with his cohorts, was facing the giant Goliath. And there was great fear, trepidation. They didn't know how they were going to defeat the giant Goliath. We have all met giants in our lives that we have had to overcome, that we've had to defeat in one way or another. And the story goes that David chose 5 very particular stones that, with his skill, with his experience being a shepherd, he had had to make use of his slingshot and stones to kill lions, to kill marauders of one sort or another. And so with his 5 very carefully selected stones and his slingshot, having disparaged of the offer of one of his cohort members to lend him his suit of armor for protection, David met the Goliath with his slingshot and 1 stone and slayed the giant Goliath in one fell swoop, the middle of his head. It was David's trust in his own skill, his own abilities, and it was trust in his experiences with his prayer life in God. He knew that he could trust God to give him the strength that went far beyond his slingshot and the stone that he chose. So faith and trust in God and in your own God-given strengths and wisdom that you have. The other thing that has 5 significance in Unity are the 5 principles. And I think this is a good time to kind of refresh our memories about those, because they are the guides that give us the wisdom to be discerning about what it is we want to leave behind, What is that we're really yearning for at a soul level to bring into our lives? I found they're very abbreviated statements of the 5 principles from Stockton, California's website. So give an ear. And then there are some wonderful questions, kind of a check mark as to how you're doing, living up to all of these. Because faith without works, words without works, you know what? They're dimes a dozens, and they don't amount to very much. So listen to these. If you're a member, you have received a little booklet about the 5 principles. Really get into those. They make a huge difference in your life, how you live, what you experience. So here they are. Number 1, God is absolute good, everywhere present. We are spiritual beings. Number 2, each one born with a spark of divinity. Number 3, we create all of our life experiences through the activity of our thinking with both mind and heart. Number 4, there is power in affirmative prayer. And number 5, knowledge and understanding of these spiritual principles, the laws of life, are not enough. And here's the checklist. Number 1, am I affirming divine intelligence and love in this situation? Number 2, am I remembering my own divinity and that of all others involved? 3, am I realizing that I am in this situation by divine appointment and it's important to my soul growth? Number 4, have I aligned myself with God, the universe, the good, and received guidance before I act? And number 5, am I living by principle in this instance? Are my actions congruent with principle as I understand it today? Take that into your heart, your mind, your prayer, because these are the laws of life. Thank you. Okay, as we journey on to our vision, mission, and value statements. They're posted up here. Our vision is a world powerfully transformed through shared spiritual awakening. And our mission, advancing the movement of spiritual awakening and transformation through unity, a positive path for spiritual living. And our values, abundance, acceptance, community, diversity, integrity, joy, and love. And we celebrate our children with this affirmation: unity of Appleton sees the divinity in all children and nurtures their unfolding spirituality. And our daily word, which is, in prayer, I know the truth about others. I feel honored when someone asks for my support in prayer. My heart and mind join with theirs as I hold thoughts that affirm the truth of them, their divinity. I pray they know they are created in the image of God, that the qualities of life, love, and wisdom are part of their spiritual inheritance. As I pray, I see their divine qualities expressing. I envision divine life flowing through them and divine love comforting them, harmonizing their relationships. I see them whole and well, loved and loving, prosperous and secure. As I pray, I focus on the spiritual truth and trust that the divine presence is the answer to every prayer. And from 1 Corinthians, what should I do then? I will pray with the Spirit, but I will pray with the mind also. I will sing praises with the Spirit, but I will sing praise with the mind also. If you care, join me in the affirmation at the top of the page. In prayer, I know the truth about others.
Didn't know the love of God was at hand, but now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go, let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. So I know all of you know that the music, of course, is carefully crafted for what the message is on a given day. And this is, for those of us who have done this ceremony before, one of our absolutely favorite parts of the year. And I'm getting teared up. Oh my God, that's terrible. Anyway, to me, especially as a lot of you know, it's been a really tough year. And so the fact, and I know what I'm writing down on that piece of paper. I really do. Oh, I woke up this morning and I was like, that's what I'm getting rid of this year. And so we're delighted to be able to have Reverend Evin Wilkins with us this morning, all the way from Washington State. For those of you who are new here, he joins us about once a month, which is a beautiful thing. We love having him. We don't have an actual minister, so we are lucky enough that we've got different guest speakers on different Sundays. And we found out today that he just found out this week, I think, about space for his new spiritual center. That's going to happen in a couple of weeks. They're going to have their big old opening there in Vancouver, so that's excellent. And we love him. We're so happy when he can be here with us. What's going to happen this morning, because it's a little bit different, is we're going to have the message, and then Reverend Evan's going to lead us into meditation, and then from meditation, we're going to go into that marvelous burning bowl ceremony. So please put your hands together and welcome a man that we know and love. And we're happy to close our year out with him, Reverend Evin Wilkins.
Thanks, everybody. Yeah, thanks for having me again. Thank you, Paige. I think that was you, Paige. I think I recognized your voice. I can't see you, but I think that was you.
You're right, it's me.
Yeah, so hey, this morning started out really good anyway because you sang one of my favorite songs. That release song happens to be one of my favorites. when my wife and I first started when we attended our first ever Unity Church was at Unity Church of the Hills in Austin, Texas. I'm from Texas, by the way, in case any new people don't detect the accent. But that was our very first Unity Church, and we used to get up and dance in the aisles with that song because it was just so uplifting and so upbeat. So thanks for ending my year on that. I love that. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. By the way, so she mentioned my new Unity Center. It will be live streamed. And just a hint, because you all are 2 hours ahead, like you could attend here and then attend there on the live stream. And you could even like hear two different messages, because the messages, like when I do a message here on one Sunday, it'll be over one theme. And then the message there will be on something different. So, hey, you get a 2-for-1. So anyway, okay, just a little plug for myself. All right, so as we are quite aware, 2024 is coming to a close in the new year, 2025. I can't believe I am saying that. I still remember the night of, the whole Y2K thing. Remember that? We were all wondering if the electricity was just going to like shut off across the entire country. I was in my 20s then, so I was at a club having a really good time, and I remember we were in Texas. We were 2 hours behind, of course, Central Time, like you all. We were Central Time, and I remember the ball getting ready to drop. They were showing it on TV, and we all, everybody in the whole club just goes silent. And we're all just watching the ball drop to make sure the electricity doesn't shut off. And when it stayed on and the cheering kept happening, the club just went right back to the music and everything. So we knew we were probably going to be okay. So anyway, 2025, and many of us, as the new year comes, we start to think about those things we want to release, right? If you're a person that, creates like a New Year's resolution, you start thinking about, what you want to release and the new things you want to carry forward into the new year. It's kind of the whole out with the old and with the new theme. Rumi once said, he said, make like a tree and let the dead leaves drop. Try to say that 10 times real fast. Make like a tree and let the dead leaves drop. So as we know, when we start talking about release can be any number of things. It could be anything under the sun, right? It can be something physical as unwanted habits, like maybe to stop eating so much sugar. Maybe we decide, hey, we're going to cut our sugar in half until we can eventually just let sugar go or whatever. To stop biting our nails, things like that, those little pesky habits that kind of get in the way. Or to something, much larger, like maybe we want to release. We've got a disease in the body and we want to release that. We want to release the outcome of that. We want to release, our fears around that. We just want to release it and be able to move into maybe a phase of healing, to accept healing or to accept acceptance. Or it could be something even more on a spiritual level. Maybe we choose, we're going to okay, this is the year I'm going to start to release those unwanted fears that I have around certain things in my life. Those anxieties that I feel around certain things in my life. This is the year I want to release that and move more into a phase of strength, of wisdom, of guidance. And release is sometimes about releasing relationships even that no longer serve us, right? Releasing results of certain things. Maybe releasing always the need to control. And I'm preaching to the choir here because that's something that I've struggled with. She mentioned starting my new center. I've had to release any fears around that, thinking, how many people are going to come? What's the size of it going to be? What are we going to do while we're there? The space that we're going to have, all of those kinds of things. If you're anything like me, sometimes you just hate not knowing the outcome, right? It's like we always need to know the outcome. Our minds, our ego wants to know the outcome because that's where we feel safe. That's where we feel comfortable. So in that moment, maybe we choose to release, knowing that it's going to be okay if whatever we want happens, but it's also going to be okay if perhaps it happens differently than we envisioned it happening. Because maybe it's still going to happen, but maybe it doesn't look exactly the way that we envisioned it, but it doesn't mean it's not going to be just as wonderful, just as great. So we're starting to see here that release can be any number of things. But whether or not our release is something on a spiritual level or something more on a physical level, whatever we choose to release is likely not wanted, right? Or otherwise we probably wouldn't want to release it. It's not wanted, and it's usually not wanted because even if only on a subconscious level, it's not serving our highest good. And this release is likely going to ultimately strengthen our faith, right? Or to help us along the path of our spiritual growth, however that looks to each person. Now, release is also sometimes referred to as elimination, depending on the text that you read. Or release or elimination is one of our Unity 12 powers. Now, if you're new to Unity, the 12 powers are 12 spiritual powers that we at Unity believe people receive from God, the divine, the universe, whatever name you have for it. And we can use these 12 powers to help create the life that we want. Now, those 12 powers are imagination, faith, zeal, power, strength, life, will, understanding, love, wisdom, order, and release or elimination, again, depending on the text that you read. And I actually had to write down the 12 powers in ministerial school. I can't remember what it was, but they gave us a statement, like a saying to where we remembered what each one of them was. But I still have to write them down and fear that I'm going to leave one out. So it's okay if you have to write those down. But Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore originally referred to it as elimination. And he defined it as the ability to release, remove, denounce, deny, and let go. And he gave an affirmation. He said, "Today, we affirm that we release anything and everything that no longer serves our highest and unfolding good." And in his book, A Parenthesis in Eternity, Joel Goldsmith states, he said, "We cannot adopt new ideas while still clinging to the outworn beliefs of the past. We must be willing to relinquish our old concepts. That is where the courage comes in, and in the daring. It takes courage to leave behind that which has proved to be unsatisfactory in our experiences." And he goes on to say, "Nothing external to us can limit or hinder us because our freedom must first take place in our consciousness." But sometimes, though, we talk about release and we're like, okay, yes, I definitely want to release those things that don't serve my highest good. I'm tired of them. I'm tired of having that junk. I just want to release it and let it go. But sometimes it's not quite so easy, right? It sounds easy in theory, but to actually practice it, that's where the spiritual work comes in. And sometimes it's not as easy as just saying, okay, I'm going to release this and poof, it's gone, right? Well, we may want to give up sugar or anything else that's not serving our highest good. It's sometimes not as easy as just saying no thanks when the cookies come around. Or maybe that's just the case for me. I have to take a cookie, but for most of us, those things that have become something in our lives can be difficult to give up. This has become a habit. It's become something that's a part of our lives, no matter how unwanted it may be, and it can be difficult to give up. Sugar is challenging in and of itself, but sometimes, as I mentioned before, it's something much larger. Sometimes it's those extremely even limiting thoughts that hold us back from living our highest good. Therefore, staying stuck in patterns that are long outworn, patterns that we wanted to long ago let go. But this is where it can get tricky. Because for some, that which doesn't serve us has almost become our identity in a way. It's become our story. And to release it means to release a story or an identity that has remained with us for far too long. To release it means to force ourselves to become something new, something entirely different. And that can instill fear. It can instill fear because we're then likely stepping out into new, unknown territory. Some of you here at Unity may remember, and this goes back to a while, this was one of the first classes that I ever took in Unity, but it was called The Quest. So maybe you've taken the Quest class or read the Quest book. And in that book, it mentions something called terra incognita. Now, terra incognita is a Latin phrase that means unknown or uncharted territory. In the 1500s, cartographers, they used to draw their maps. And what they would do is they would label those unexplored areas terra incognita. And of course, these areas are called out as being unexplored because no one, at least that they knew of, had explored those areas. And I'm sure it was frightening at the time, to think about setting out in those areas and to explore lands that no one that they knew of had ever explored. So when we let go of our old stories, we're forced to get new ones, right? We've got to get new stories. And we often don't know when we release, we sometimes we do, sometimes we don't necessarily know what that next story is going to be. And as a result, it can feel really frightening to step out into terra incognita, because we don't know what we're going to find there necessarily. The mind, the Buddhists call it monkey mind, when the mind just starts to chatter, the mind's going to start chattering a bit. It's going to start serving as a reminder that the feeling of comfort is preferred. It doesn't want to feel uncomfortable. It may start to ask you the question of, you know what? Why would you take an uncharted path over perhaps rough terrain when you know that the trail ahead, the charted trail, is nice, smooth, and paved? This chatter may also make you kind of wonder. You're like, okay, there could be snakes. There might be sinkholes. There might even be thistle that's too thick for me to navigate. And then the fear starts to step in. So here is where I propose a question. What if you get there? What if you see that thistle? What if you just kind of peel it back a little bit and realize that it's not nearly as thick as it initially appeared? What if you're able to just walk up to it, move it aside, and then just walk on through? Or what if you peek through it and it is as thick as you feared? It doesn't mean that you still can't navigate your way through it. Yeah, it may be tough, but remember that the well-traveled path was also once terra incognita. Someone, at some time, overcame their fear to travel what was once the unknown. So maybe this time that person is you. Is it always going to be uncomfortable? I'd like to tell you it is, but not always. But you know when it's time to move from the known to the unknown. You know when it's time to leave the well-known traveled path for the terra incognita. You know when it's time to not only make change in your life, but to welcome it and to celebrate those changes. And to sit back sometimes and just enjoy the journey. Sometimes it's tough, but sometimes it's worth it just to enjoy the journey. My wife and I, we just got back from Lincoln City, Oregon. We went there over the Christmas break, and we rented just a small house there close to the coast. We were about a block away from the ocean. And while we were there, we saw that on Christmas night that there was going to be a major storm. And that there was going to be these high wind gusts, almost like hurricane level wind gusts. We learned that there's something out here on the West Coast called a bomb cyclone. And what those are, they're just these really windy storms, and they have these gusts of wind. And coming from Texas, I'm a little fearful of storms just because, there's so many tornadoes and things like that there. And I think we even experienced one. I was a senior minister at the Unity of Madison Church, and we experienced even a tornado warning there. So anyway, I've got like this little bit of fear of storms and wind. And so we're like, well, maybe we'll just pack up early Christmas Day and we'll leave to avoid this storm. And then I remember it hit me. While we were there, I told my wife, I said, because she wasn't nearly as afraid of it as I was. But I told my wife, I said, maybe we should just stay and look at this as a journey. Maybe we should just stay and I can look at this as an experience. And maybe even just a way of overcoming my fears. So sometimes it's just a matter of saying, hey, maybe this isn't something I want to go through, but maybe it's just another journey that I can have in my life. Maybe it's just another experience that maybe it might not be wanted at first, but maybe having this experience can help me along to the next phase of my life. Maybe having this experience, although frightening, can help me to overcome that fear and to prepare for what's next. Now, I do want to mention something here, because anytime we get rid of something, we create space. Imagine you've got these two really large couches at home. But one of them takes up an extremely large amount of space and you're just tired of it being there. You're tired of looking at it. You're tired of bumping into it when you walk through the living room. So suddenly one day you're like, you know what? I'm going to get rid of this couch. So you put it on Facebook Marketplace, wherever you get rid of stuff, and someone comes and picks it up. They pick it up and you look at your living room and you suddenly see this space that wasn't there before. And while you may enjoy that new space, you also start to think about what you'd like to put there to replace the couch. Maybe it's not as large as the couch, but you'd like something there. So this is where it gets a little tricky, because if you don't put something there, clutter may start to gather. Whether it's dust, whether you just start kind of stacking stuff over there, whatever it is, clutter may gather. So you're thinking to yourself, you're like, I want to replace that with a new end table and lamp. So you put that there. And our minds aren't a whole lot different than that new space that's in your living room. And this is why it's important to set your intention before or shortly after you release. Because once you release, you have created some much needed space. But if you don't fill that space, even with a small new intention, clutter can start to creep in. And when clutter starts to creep in, it can create doubt, it can create worry, and it can create frustration, or even room for what you release to make a reappearance. So it's important to also create your intention of what you want to fill that space with. So today is our burning bowl ceremony, and it's a day in which we ceremoniously release those things that no longer serve us, those things that no longer serve our highest good, those things that we release as we move into the next journey or phase of our life. Perhaps for some, it's terra incognita. For some, it's a place that we already know or lands that we've already traveled, lands in which we know are good. But as we move into this time today, it's also important to remember, and I always like to remind people of this on the burning bowl, it's important to remember that this is not a one-shot kind of deal. In other words, not everything has to be released today during the ceremony. Other things may come to mind as you get home today, later this week, or even throughout the year. It doesn't mean that you have to wait until Unity's burning bowl ceremony each year to release these things. You can practice this ceremony at home. You can release during prayer, during meditation, on walks with nature, whatever works best for you. It's also important to remember to set your intention, as I just mentioned a little while ago. It doesn't have to be overly specific at this point. Today, it can even be the intention to just release with courage. To the intention to bravely move forward, to set sail for a new course in your life, or to begin to charter a path for your own terra incognita. So today we're going to start our meditation in preparation for our burning bowl. And today's meditation is going to probably be a little bit different than usual, because what I'd like to do today is to begin to awaken and to use some of our 12 powers. And we're going to use some of those 12 powers to bravely move forward and to help us to release and move forward in strength and in knowing that we have inside of us right now, we have all that we need to release and to bravely move forward onto our new paths. Now, some of you may already know, Paige mentioned that she already knows what she wants to release today, and that's good. Some of you may be, in that same boat. Some of you may already know, and some of you may not. And either is okay. There is no right or wrong as we go into this ceremony. So what I invite you to do now is to just close your eyes and just listen. To go within and just listen. Let's just take this moment to just breathe. Perhaps even put a smile on your face and knowing that you are divine. And knowing that you have everything you need within you right now to be able to bravely move forward. To release anything you have that no longer serves you. To be able to create the life that you want to create, the life that you envision yourself creating. So I invite you today to affirm and accept and awaken the power of strength. Strength is where we relax into our power, the power that we are. And as we tune in to that strength that we have, that strength that we are, I invite you to focus on the small of your back. Maybe feel the small of your back. Maybe touch the small of your back. Maybe just envision the small of your back surrounded by green light. And if you're not visual, that's okay. Just allow yourself to feel this. And know that in that strength that you are, you have the ability to endure, to stay the course, and to persevere. And I invite you to silently affirm the following affirmation. I have the strength to accomplish all that is mine to do. Now, I am the strength to accomplish all that is mine to do. Next, we move on to our power of imagination. Imagination, where we release limiting thoughts and imagine something greater. And with our imagination, I invite you to focus on the location between your eyes, just slightly between your eyebrows and just slightly a little bit above your eyebrows. And envision a light blue light surrounding this spot on between your brows. Some may call this the third eye. Imagination is where we hold our ability to conceptualize and envision a different future for ourselves. This is the power we use to envision what our intention will be, what our intention is. And I invite you here to silently affirm, I imagine good unfolding in every area of my life. And now, I am the good unfolding in every area of my life. Next, we call our power of faith. Faith where we believe, we trust, and we allow our faith to grow. Faith is found in the center of the brain. The the center of the brain that we envision being encircled by a royal blue, a deep blue light, where the ability to believe, intuit, and perceive live. Faith in knowing that all is always well. Faith in knowing that not only do we dream of creating the life we envision, we are creating the life we envision. I invite you now to silently affirm, faith blesses my day and paves my way. And now, I am the faith that blesses my day and paves my way. And now finally we move on to our power of release. Release where we clear out, we eliminate, and we give away what is no longer serving us. Whether it's physical clutter, those unused items and things we've outgrown, or releasing habits, dependencies, unhealthy boundaries, relationships that are not for our highest good. I invite you to bring your attention to your lower abdomen. The light here is a dark brown light. Here we find the power of release also helps us to release any unforgiveness or judgments that tether us to the past. We also use release to let go of negative thinking or limited ideas about ourselves, as well as any self-doubt or fear. And I invite you now to silently affirm, as I continue to release what no longer serves me, I make room for greater, more expansive possibilities and opportunities. And now, I am expansive possibility and opportunity. And in just a moment, I'm going to invite you to open your eyes. But before I do, I just invite you to hold this feeling of meditation, these feelings of power, and to hold these powers that we just awakened as we move into our burning bowl ceremony and even beyond when you leave this space, to hold on to those powers and know that they're yours anytime you need them. They're not something you call upon, they're already there within you. And you may even find that there's other powers within the 12 powers that work for this, and that's fine too. Focus on the ones that you feel called to focus on and to awaken. But hold those within you and know that they're there to call on at any time. So let's take a nice, deep, cleansing breath in. Hold it for about 2 seconds. And then just release. And I invite you to now open your eyes when you're ready. Now I will hand it over to Bedford to take us through our burning bowl ceremony.
Thank you, Reverend Wilkins. And as you've always already been obviously aware of, today is about release and moving forward with 12 powers, with the 5th day of Christmas being openness and freedom, with the songs of release and let go. It's all about our willingness, our confidence to move in faith freely without the encumbrance of things that we are symbolically letting go right now, but they can stand for anything and everything that you'd like to let go in life. And so I think we're really practicing another unity practice, and that's denials and affirmations. We're really putting the things that are not of truth into the bowl and letting them burn. We're denying that there is any hold that those things have on us. And we're affirming what I'm going to leave you with, each of you, as you come forward and watch your strip of paper burn. I'm going to affirm for you that you are free. And you are, and the Christ-like, you are free to shine the Christ-like. So you are free, and you are free to shine the Christ-like. Go in peace. So that's the affirmation. We're releasing and we're affirming. We're denying and we're affirming. So when you're ready, come forward and put your paper in here.
Just a second, we have to make sure that you write down, I don't think that was clear, on your piece of paper the things that you want to let go. So that's...
If that wasn't clear, please do write down what you want to let go. You are free, and you are free to shine the Christ light. Go in peace. You are free to let the Christ light shine. Go in peace. You are free. Let the Christ light shine. Go in peace. You are free. Let the Christ light shine. Go in peace. You are free. Let the Christ light shine. Go in peace. You are free. Go in peace. And let the Christ light shine. Go in peace. You are free. Let the Christ light shine. Go in peace.
I invite you to stay within this meditative silence, stillness, the release that you feel, the openness to receive as we pray together this. I am love. I am health. I am peace. I deserve to be loved. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be healthy. I am a child of God. I deserve nothing less. Today I accept my healing of body, mind, and spirit. I forgive myself for the mistakes I made. I forgive all the people for whom I felt anger. I accept them because they could not be as I wanted. I release them and I free myself from the resentment forever. I cancel the past in the present to free my future. I deserve to enjoy the love of my loved ones. I stop judging myself and judging others forever. I now release all my pain, my mistakes, my illness, so Spirit can transform it into health, love, and peace. I accept everything as it is now, and with patience to begin to finally heal. God, you are in me and I am in you. By your divine power and your love within me, I decide to heal my body, my mind, my soul. I open my heart to your pure love that surrounds me with its radiant light, revitalizing every cell in my body. Every negative thought becomes positive, recreating myself in a new life full of love and joy. I will share this love with all, communicating everything I feel. I wish to heal with all my heart and then to help others, thus fulfilling my mission of love and communication of love in this life. Thank you, universe that already is. And also state with me, we affirm Unity of Appleton is rich in mind and manifestation now. And now we move from our prayer to our affirmation of prosperity. This is the time when those of us who feel Unity of Appleton as our spiritual home practice putting Spirit first in our financial life. This practice prospers the spiritual community we love and supports our own spiritual growth and prosperity. Please give whatever amount Spirit guides you to give, whether it's in person or electronically. Whatever that amount is, take that gift into your heart. Bless it with your love. Feel free to bless the plate as it passes by. Let yourself feel grateful to God in you as your one source. Then, please join us in this affirmation of prosperity. Say with me, please. Unity of Appleton is alive with the energy of Spirit, in the flow of divine abundance, and radiant with unlimited possibilities. And also join in our celebration of giving and receiving. Divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I joyfully give and willingly receive. I give in love, and I trust God as my source.
Swim out to save you in your sea
whisper love so loudly every heart would understand. That love and only love can join the tribes of man. I would give my heart's desire so that you might see. The first step is to realize it all begins with you and me. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time?
In this time of joy, of wonder, recognition of the Christ within all, with joyful hearts, we add to the joy of the world. Amen. And now it's time for announcements. Our ongoing book studies at Unity, Mondays from 6 to 7, effortless mindfulness, and on Sundays after our service, such as today, from 11:30 to 12:30, how to pray without talking to God. And another book about to begin in a week or so, Talking Across the Divide, how to communicate with people you disagree with, maybe even change the world, by Justin Lee. This will happen on Saturday mornings from January 11th through March 8th at 10:15 to 11:45. The book is available by order. Pop in, make it an ongoing practice. It will happen. Our Vision Board Workshop, Saturday, January 18th, 12:30 to 2:30. Step into 2025 with clear intentions, clear desires, and a vision for who you want to become. Please sign up at the Connect and Serve table. Materials and light snacks will be provided. It's a one-session event. If you have any old magazines or calendars, Karen Sophie needs them. What are we calling into our lives for 2025? The White Stone Ceremony, led by Reverend Sandra McKinney, next Saturday, January 5th. Sunday. What did I say? Sunday. Sunday. This is on Sunday. Just like today is Sunday. Join us next Sunday for the White Stone Ceremony. Now that we have released what no longer serves us, we'll select our intentions for 2025, listening even deeper to hear the universe, God's responses and blessings. And now, our prayer for protection, and you will notice that there are 5 of them again. Stand up, please, if you are able. Raise your hands in confirmation. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Now we send you out with a happy, happy song. Sing and dance if you know it.